All right, and this is part 2 of Touching Base 2020 with Colleen Black, the author of my beautiful artwork in my cabin and a long-time soul sister. We've really walked some paths together, haven't we, sweetheart? So, but I'm trying to keep this focused because Colleen and I would gossip all night.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to show you her amazing work and just to tell you that this artist has a heart to make make a difference is such a corny phrase, but to impact on healing, especially for child sexual abuse survivors, satanic ritual abuse survivors. Somebody said something really interesting lately, that in MK Ultra programming, which is something that I'm a survivor of, you are programmed not to disclose verbally or even in writing, but they didn't think to cover art. So a lot of survivors, including Elisa and Gabriel of the Hampstead case and Fiona Barnett from Australia, many other survivors, they're able to draw or paint what happened where they can't find the words. And a lot of people are expressing surprise to me, like, oh my goodness, Angie, I just thought you were a campaigner. I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. And it's because there's programming to keep that silence in place, but art circumvents that. So not only is it beautiful that artists like Colleen will paint, the pain and the escape and the possibilities, but that survivors can also communicate that way. So I'm going to go straight back into the artwork. Is there anything you want to say, Colleen?
I just think that's absolutely beautiful that they can, that's, I'd like to help in any way that I possibly can.
Yeah, I think you're so called to this work. So that's that. So let's go on to the next piece. Wow.
Now this one is another started piece. I have the counterpart for that, which was the Hugh.
Yeah, the one you gave to Miles Johnston.
Yes, I never had the money to send it to him, so I've got to work it out with him because I'm starting its counterpart right now. I was kind of locked in on that, but I need to write to him and figure out something because it's been a little while.
Like I want a $10,000 piece of art, but I don't have $200 to send.
I don't know what to send to you. Yeah, there's a struggle.
And Miles and I have kind of gone our separate ways, but that's a whole different story. But wow, so yeah, talk to us about this.
This one, Hugh is sort of he's almost like the blue Kachina. He's the white horse, the one that comes in and saves the day, like brightens up our lives and brings the light into our lives, where the dark horse is the one that carries everything away. So I started this, and I in the next photo you'll see a little sculpture of a horse that I'm holding, which I'd like to make this into a sculpture. But inside the horse's mane, it's almost like somebody's riding all the, like the part where his hooves are coming down.
Yeah.
I'm hiding the adrenochrome symbol in there.
Wow.
And then a lot of the mane are children being rescued. So it's like a prayer painting to help assist with that, because I was hearing a lot of sort of underground news about this happening and going on. And so I just wanted to do whatever I could and just pray for the people that are handling that situation, and for all the children and all of the people that are involved in it.
Wow.
So this is the dark horse, one that
we'll jump out of art for like 30 seconds just to ground ourselves in reality, which is horrendous at the moment if you look at it superficially. How are you doing with the chaos of this election? Have they called it yet? Like, do you expect it to be called? How do you feel?
As of this morning, it sounded like they hadn't called it yet. There is a story that I heard on You Are Free TV. It's one of my favorite
Yes,
YouTubers. I
I
really
watch
love her.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Again,
came on and said something about a watermark.
that the ballot that President Trump, in anticipation of anticipated electoral fraud, that he had the military watermark secretly, like almost like blockchain watermark the ballots, so that if fake ballots were introduced into the mix, they could very easily be identified in the aftermath. So I have seen that fairly validated. And I've also seen on Twitter somebody talking about Texas has already, the FBI have already interviewed somebody in Texas guilty of mass electoral fraud. So, but it's very scary because most of the voices that will tell you that are silenced. Like I'm lucky to still be on YouTube, given the kind of work I do, you know.
Oh, I hear you. It's amazing. I mean, I have an equal mix of friends that are leaning towards Trump, and then the other mix are leaning toward Biden. I love them both. I'll never, give that up, but it just makes me feel like but I wish I could talk to the Biden crowd.
Yeah.
Like whenever I try to
Hunter.
bring anything up, you just want to shut it down, like they don't want to listen to anything that anyone has to say.
Division, but if you've got any knowledge about intergenerationally abusive families, Ashley, one of Joe Biden's children, Ashley's diaries have been released, where she talks, she's got sex addiction and drug addiction and all sorts of addictions going on. And she talks about being, being made to shower with her dad at ages that were inappropriate and feeling like she was abused, but having partially blocked memories. And then you've got Hunter Biden, and his laptop and that whole horror, but it's all being suppressed. And I feel it's just heartbreaking. It's a generational curse. And if we don't get a hold of this and shine it in the light and end it, we as a people, not even a savior Trump or a savior whoever, we as a people have to all take responsibility for shining a light on this and ending it. And I feel like you're doing that with your art, even to address the adrenochrome and the rescuing of children in the tunnels. That's brave art.
Thank you.
So we'll go on to the next one. Okay, this is the one that Miles didn't ever facilitate arriving, but never mind. It's okay.
I figure out something with him. It's been a rough couple of years. It's really been it's really sent me on a spiral in all kinds of different directions. I don't want to say it's a downward one, but I really struggled. I've really been struggling over the past couple of years, and just trying to stay afloat. But there's a lot of help out there. There's a lot of really great people who have stepped up to the plate. I don't know if you know Leak Project. He's been helping me out a lot too with fine artwork.
Yeah.
So
that's great. My channel is still very small, although I think it's artificially small. My blog has had over 500,000 hits. My YouTube about the same, but I'm still artificially kept at like 3,500 subscribers. My Facebook has millions of interactions, but they still slap me on the wrist sometimes. But look, this is getting out there. And Miles Johnson, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
That's great.
Sorry, I couldn't.
I don't know if he's just forgot. He may have forgotten too. He's been busy. So,
but before we talk about this one, do you want to share at all about the challenge of the lot? Like, you've written a beautiful book. Tell people the title of your book.
It's called Behind the Black, and it's a sort of a memoir of a lot of my artist inspirations. I really have to warn you, in that book, I had no idea I had no idea about this whole thing that was going on. You know, like I donated a piece to Ellen DeGeneres.
I know. And you
I never even heard from her, you know, like go figure.
I know.
But,
you acknowledged Madame Blavatsky, and I'm like, whoa.
yeah, I didn't know. I thought she was a philosopher.
What you
I had no idea. So there's a couple of faux pas, but for the most part,
trust.
yeah, I wrote it from my heart, you know, like it poured out like a song.
I think
so. I really loved the book for what it was meant to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was totally fooled. A lot of us were. I loved Ellen DeGeneres. I thought she was fantastic. Oprah, I thought, oh my gosh, these people are giving stuff away. I want to do it too. So I thought I was joining in, but luckily I didn't. You know, I'm patting myself on the back for not getting any response whatsoever. It's okay. I'd much rather be where I am.
I used to love Oprah. It's like we can't help when we weren't awake. But I think if you're okay, we'll be honest as well, that we've both struggled with addiction, with alcohol, and with different, like we've both been through 12 programs and like recovery and all that kind of stuff. So just talk to me about the challenge of the last, because this is often the case, that people that are highly, heavily burdened and empathic also have to fight their demons. They just have, it comes from us, the freedom comes from some pain, doesn't it?
Big time. Oh, Angie, I've even had a fall while I was here, you know, like I drank a little bit a couple weeks ago, I think it was, but my kids caught me. So we had a big talk, you know, because they don't need that. They never need to see that in me again. They really don't. And it was one of the things that I really wanted to move here and be strong about, because I know there's a lot of their friends and a lot of family and people who are suffering with it right now. And if I can just be strong enough to stay out of the mix, which has just been hard, you know, like it's been hard. I would much rather go into a little hole and hide, you know, sometimes, because it's just so freaking hard trying to do all this stuff.
Relocating is huge.
Yeah.
The top 10 stressors go death, divorce, moving, you know, and then it goes losing your job or losing your, you know, whatever. But it's a huge thing that you've done. And I just want to salute you, because you're still painting, you're still parenting, you're still laughing, you're still crying, you're still here. And like I said, I lost a friend yesterday, 46. Absolutely.
I lost a friend too, and another artist that took his own life.
Yes.
Back in Pittsburgh.
So sad. It's so heartbreaking. Talk to me about this painting. Wow. This is, oh my God, is that Bill Gates?
Yes, it is.
Wow. And that's
from his neck of the woods.
Oh my.
He lives like a half an hour south.
And is that Obama? There's Prince Charles.
Oh, it looks like Prince Charles. That's actually Fauci.
Fauci, Dr. Fauci. Oh yeah. My God. Who's Dr. this? Fauci.
That's Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
He's riding the Amazon train. He's got like, see, it's a giant Amazon, upside down Amazon, because I'm trying to aim it toward the ground so it'll go underground, because, and then China is like hooked to it, like hooked to the train, because he's taking all of the hardworking people's jobs away by sending all of the business over to China. You know, like it's pretty darn simple when you think about it. And you know, like I've got all the news networks back there in the background. The frog-looking bodied guy, that's Soros. And then there's Rothschild up there in the corner.
Wow.
And the money people. Then there's, oh, what's his name? He was the one that, one of the guys from Jeffrey Epstein that was mentioned. I always forget his name.
Les Wexner.
Les Wexner. That's it.
Yeah, he's
and those are the storm clouds that are rushing in. And basically the buffalo is, that's our native, the buffalo is native here in the United States.
Yep.
And a long time ago, we heard from the, I remember in my history classes, we were taught that we brought over the English cow. And then on the fields, the middle fields in America, the cows eat the grass in a different way than the buffalo did. So there was a big dust storm that happened. And so that was sort of the beginning of this painting. And then the American flag is kind of stretching up behind the buffalo and his mask is floating off in the wind.
Absolutely amazing.
And so the buffalo's turning around and he's rearing back and headed back toward the cow. And the cow's got a little poop that came out of him, like, oh crap.
That is incredible.
So it's more, let's take this bull by the horns and
let's do it. Come on.
Let it happen. Yeah, we can rage against the storm. This was a painting that was sold a while ago, but it was called Brand New Horizon. And it was right when I was starting to learn the truth about a lot of the stuff that was going on. So there's like hidden planets up in the upper corner of it, and then there's angels that are shining down on the ship itself. And then in the dark, when you turn off the light, there's a mermaid that's sneaking up to the ship. So it's sort of like a mystical,
wow.
Like there's hidden energies that are coming towards us, and they could be good and they could be bad, but we don't know, like there's a storm that's just raging, just about to happen. And I felt like at this time, we were about to go into something huge, which we did. We so did. So this was sort of the calm before the storm.
Stunning. All right. Oh, I don't like owls. Right, talk to me about the owl.
Yeah, he's also called Dreamweaver.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. I've heard all of the stuff around owls, and I never painted him to be a scary one, but he is meant to be sort of a director of our dreams. So I called him Dreamweaver.
Okay.
And then inside of the swoop of his wings, there are just all kinds of hidden things that were coming out at me. There was like a beehive that was happening, and inside of the beehive, because sometimes I swear when I look up in the sky, it looks like a hive. It looks like there's like a honeycomb looking thing going on. And I've been told that that's like a grid pattern that we can actually see through our third eye.
Okay.
So in the corner, there's like that grid pattern that I always see. And it almost feels like you can reach up and pull out different cells of this. And in my mind, I can go closer to these parts and have been able to go places in that way. So there's history in here. There's a Viking ship, and there's a lot of things that have happened throughout my dreams. There's dragons and unicorns, and there's an apocalypse type of thing that's going on down in the bottom, and dinosaurs, and like it's a compilation of a lot of dreams that I've had. So
astral travel, in a way. Astral travel. It looks like Dante's Inferno under the wings. It's like shocking. Okay, moving swiftly along. My granddaughter loves owls, and I'm like, no. I was thinking of like
I love actual owls. I really love them. I really, like I love all animals, but we grew up with some owls around us in our barn, and owls.
Yeah, my mother has a beautiful painting of 3 white owls that were photographed close to their home, and so it's just like when you don't know the symbology, what is it they say, the 17th letter says symbolism will be their downfall. But when you start to find the symbolism and it's just shocking. It's almost like, I don't know, we need to take back the things that are beautiful and stop them having dark meaning. Do you know what I'm saying? We need to
Oh, definitely.
we need to reclaim.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is pretty stunning. Talk to me about this one.
This one was actually the inspiration for Tommy. I think I have her in the slideshow too. But this one is Tommy is an angel, and what happened was this painting was at a show and she was holding just a blue sash in her hand, and the people that were some people that were in the show said, oh, she should be handling a gun. She just looks like she's got some power and she's gonna swoop in and mean some business. You know, she just looked like a mafia kind of a.
Okay.
So I gave her a double barrel shotgun because right now we're dealing with all this gun rights and activism and all this other kind of stuff. So I just thought that was, and behind her, that giant swirl of emotion that's going on is the Q movement. It kind of goes off to the side of the painting and it makes a giant Q. So
I'm confused with that because my heart, like, I like hope and I like deep research, and I've actually had the honor of feeding some deep research to the Q movement, and they've picked up on it and run with it. Like, I told them about Fiona Barnett's work and David Shurter's work and Justice Scalia. I've given them leads and they've run with it. And I heard Bishop Larry Gator saying, oh, Q goes back to the 18th century or the 19th century, and it's always been a movement, you know, amongst American generals to, you know, fight off the Freemasonic agendas and fight off the New World Order agenda and so on. So, but like at the same time, they seem to promote, some of them go off left field and say everybody's dead, everybody's been assassinated, everybody's got clones, and it's all going to be hunky-dory, right? And then some of them are what I would call new agers, which I've come out of. So to me, if they're promoting we'll all ascend and we'll all live in 5D and we'll all just manifest and we don't need Jesus to come back or any, you know, second coming, we'll all just manage without him. We'll bring in the new world order, but the good one. So sometimes it makes me wonder, is it left-hand path, right-hand path, but still Luciferian? So that's just a question I have. I don't have a definitive answer.
Question.
Yeah.
Let's
go on to the next one. Wow.
Now this one was right before I had you know, that I think in the last podcast that I did with you, I mentioned that all that art got stolen.
Yeah.
Did you know I got it back?
No.
Like a lot of these things are from getting it back. I had two collectors that that I called up because what happened was the art was being stored inside of a warehouse and they claimed bankruptcy. So none of the artists could get to the work.
Yeah.
And then when that 5 years was up, the idea was to take it out and sell it.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, gain back whatever they could or whatever. So my cousin happened to go online and find that they were starting to sell the art that was stolen. I didn't even know. I was off on my own path at that time. So he got a hold of me and said, oh my gosh, Colleen, your art's online and they're selling it for ridiculously low prices. And at that time, I could not afford to buy it back at all.
You shouldn't ever have to.
So, oh, it was so terrible. Because it was, I just sold a painting for, that ship had just sold for about 20 grand. And then this happened and they started to try and undercut everything that was going on. So I called up a couple of my collectors and I just said, I just kind of gave up and I just said, well, God can handle this one, I guess. And so I called them up and I said, I can never sell you this work for what it's online for. So if you want anything, please go and buy it. Just know that I can't really do this ever again. Like, this is somebody else. It's just the stolen stuff. Well, they not only bought my brother and another friend, and then another person, another collector on the side, started buying it all back and basically sent it all back to me, except for the amount that they believed they would normally pay for a few of the pieces that they wanted. So they kept what they wanted so that I don't owe them anything.
Wow.
But then they sent the entire thing back.
Oh my
Stellar people. I know the best people in the world.
Oh,
I'm so lucky in that way. I have the best friends.
That gives you hope. That gives
really
hope. Right.
Oh yeah. Fantastic people out there. Just huge hearts. So kudos to them. And this was another one that was stolen that I got back. But this one was called Infinite Dreamer. And she's just sort of lost in that universe, you know, sort of when you're covered with that light, that inspiration that comes through you, and it's just infinite. It never ends.
It's like still,
you know, when you're
in the womb. That's like amniotic fluid. That to me is like the amniotic sac of protection. You know, only we come out of that as babies. You know, tell me about this one.
That's her in the dark.
Oh yeah, I see.
I add the glow to them. That's just showing what she looks like in the dark.
And these are some of the ones. Yeah, these are some of the ones your agent was like, "Oh, keep doing the nudes, keep doing the nudes. I can sell them. I can sell them."
Yes, yeah.
This is your bread and butter.
He gave me a lot of practice on, you know, like anatomy and all that good stuff. So he was great. But yeah.
And that's the other.
And this is Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Tommy. Tommy's one that's sold. But I love her for what she says, you know, and she's like the woman's wrath, you know, like when you've got everything to say and you're just going to come in and lay it on the table like a
to me, that's like a mother who gets her children stolen. Because some of the work I do, other than the Hampstead case, which is still burning in my heart, but the other work I do is with forced adoption, which is child trafficking, which is when babies are wrongfully. Now, I know some babies need to be removed from neglectful or dangerous parents, but I would suggest that it's become an industry. Well, there's proof. I'm not just suggesting it. There's proof that corrupt lawyers, solicitors, social workers, psychologists, judges steal children. And so the pain of a mother who's had her children stolen, to me, that would be me. Like I had I had attempts on my children, but I managed to get them back. 11 days, my daughter was kidnapped. 5 days, my sons were kidnapped. But I always, with the grace of God, managed to get them back. But for mothers that have had their children stolen and haven't seen them for a year or 4 years or 5 years, or then they get back in touch with them at 18, but the children are so brainwashed they can never repair the lost years. To me, that's what I would do. Is I would be Tommy. I would be Tommy.
I would too.
Yeah,
I would too. My heart goes out to every single one of those. I've listened to some of the podcasts that you've had about the women.
Tell me about.
And this one is a little girl dreaming about being an astronaut when she grows up. I wanted to donate this for the Girl Scouts of America because I was a Girl Scout leader for a little while.
Wow.
So we were doing some fundraising and I never really finished this one. I need to finish a little bit more in the background of it, but
okay.
I love the innocence of it.
Innocence, yeah, definitely. Wow, okay. That looks like the back of my house.
I'm not sure how that one is in there. I must have.
Oh no, we must have got it. Oh my goodness. Is this yours?
Yeah, that's mine. That's the 100th monkey.
I was just going to say, is that the 100th monkey? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's all the monkeys in the background and all the and all of them got these different faces, you know, because we're all going to find out and it's probably going to look like that is what
Did I go past
the monkeys going around going, oh my gosh. But it's that big
Yeah, we've
unplugging
gone
from
back to
everything.
0. Listen, I think we've done a good job. We've done an hour. So I'm going to stop sharing the artwork, which has been stunning, absolutely stunning, and just ask you, is there anything else? Like, I wish with all my heart that I pray, I don't just wish, I pray that you find not only a beautiful home, but with a studio and with patrons that will let you, if we end up wounded such that we don't have a husband to protect and provide, and our fathers might have let us down, and we might have got robbed, or we didn't sell our souls, so we didn't make the big time. I actually pray that Jesus would be your benefactor, but that it would actually manifest, so you could do what you are gifted to do: raise your children and paint your work, paint your art, and do your sculpture, and just say, look, everything else is a bonus. If I can just express, like, for me, one of the first awards I won was for public speaking when I was like 11. And I used to think, public speaking, where am I going to use that?
Here you are.
It's like, you never know. And then I used to think,
So cool.
when I hear I worshipped the witch Oprah, I used to think, I could be a talk show. I want to be a talk show host. And so it's like, we never know when our talents will be used. But I just pray that your talents will be used. And I just want to give you the last 5 minutes just to say whatever you feel. You look absolutely beautiful. And we're still alive.
So do you. So do you.
So
You look you look amazing. Aw.
I was looking at the Lanzarote show that I put up yesterday, and I was all like dark, suntanned, and like bare arms, and throwing my arms around with all the freedom of living on a paradise island in the sun. And I think, how much has happened in 3 or 4 years,
Oh boy, so much has happened. So much is going on. Like I can't believe the amount.
You had another heartbreak. Do you want to talk about that, or you don't have to?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of heartbreak that goes on, but I think the main thing that I just want to say about it is just that I think there are times in life when we're chosen. Like, I really feel like right now I want to focus solely on my children and my art, and bringing that all to the best that it can be, type of thing, where I'm being everything that I can for them, and doing everything that I can with my art to share it with the world, and also to help people along with that. Like if I can do some art therapy or some art type of classes that help people get out.
With children that can't verbalize what they've been through, if they could be taught to recognize or express what they can't speak with words, wouldn't that be awesome? What age is Angela now? You've got a daughter of the same name as me, right?
Yes.
What age?
Angela's 12. And then my other daughter, Michaela, is 19. And she just started college. And Angela's doing really well in school out here. They have her in school. They have to wear the masks and do the 6 feet apart thing right now, which I called and bucked the system when they first did it. Then my girls yelled at me because she wanted to go back to school and make friends, like we're a new place.
Yeah.
So
be the same as everybody
I'm so against all the stuff that's going on. And as much as we try to buck against it, a lot of times our kids are so, I don't want to call them indoctrinated, because they're really amazing kids and they listen to me a lot compared to what and oh man, am I a handful when I get on a roll, and things. So they teach me a lot as far as just learning to be a little bit more discerning and to listen more instead of just letting my mouth run off because I feel a certain way. My emotions get ahead of me a lot. So it's amazing having kids that age right now, just because of what has gone on in the school systems and how much, you know, and Netflix and all of these things that have been taken over by, you know, like Netflix is owned by the Obamas. And I can't even look at a movie.
If children are doing education online, Zoom education online, it's not Zoom's fault. There are companies that are making millions from capitalizing on online learning for children, and they are profiling them. They're doing facial recognition on them. They're accessing all their activity. They're finding out their hobbies, their leanings, their fears, their vulnerabilities. It makes you want to run away and be Amish and homeschool.
Yeah.
It would me. And I did homeschool, and my children were like, we want to go to school, we want to play football and like go in the playground and like, you know, like, so I put them back in. After 2 years, I put them back into mainstream education. But my heart trembles for my grandchildren now in school. Like, there are children passing out in the playground from mask headaches. And there's a little boy that broke my heart. He got home and he told his mummy, he says, I couldn't read anything on the blackboard and I don't know what I learned today because my glasses steamed up all day. He's a little boy so he had to take his glasses off and he couldn't see. And he was too embarrassed to say to the teacher, I can't see the blackboard, I can't read my book because my mask is making my glasses. So but I do understand they're taking advantage of that thing with children where children go through a natural phase where they want to fit in. You know, adults will say, oh, you're such a sheeple, why do you want to follow the crowd? But children go through that phase and it's normal. But I think the children are being exploited hugely. So look at
big time. And it is so hard to be a mother right now and just hold on to your peace and just, I mean, I grill it into their heads. You got to get your head out of that box. Don't put your face inside that phone so much. Let's go for a walk. Let's do this. Let's go find some fun. And it's like a constant battle, you know, to try and.
Do they force vaccinate over there yet? Because in England, I'm in Ireland,
but
in England, the children have gone to school and some mothers have written letters and said, I do not consent to any vaccinations, no nasal sprays, no COVID testing. If you have any concerns, call me and I'll collect my child. And then the child comes home and says, Mummy, I had an injection and they've been vaccinated. Yeah. That's happening. Yeah. And the children will even cry and say to their mothers, I told them I didn't want it, Mummy. I told them, but they just told me I'd be fine. And they were vaccinated. Yeah.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
No.
Yeah, Bill Gates is whatever he's got going on with his vaccine system. It's named, it's even patented as a 666 type of thing. I mean, it's demonic. The whole thing is demonic.
I finished on that piece of art with Bill Gates. And do you know, on election day, Fox News hit 6.66 million subscribers on election day. Fox News.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the number.
Here we go.
The way they play the numbers is just it's unfathomable.
Yeah.
Like they know there is a code to they've studied this all the way back to, you know, like million. I don't know what it is. It feels like millions of years ago, but
I know.
That's all a part of creation. It's all part of creation. Math is just like a creative outlet in art. Yeah. And so.
Just Joe Imbriano of the Fullerton Report, he said the last time he saw 666 so blatantly flagged, like it was on election day, 6.66 million subscribers for Fox News. He said the last time he saw that was just before 9/11. So I think we need to pray that there's not another huge event. It's bad enough what's going on, and let's just pray for a good outcome. But what I love is that you're still painting, you're still speaking through your art, you're still raising your children, and we're still standing, we're still here.
Oh, I will never give up. I will never give up.
Yeah.
You know, there's times when it feels like I just want to crawl into a hole, you know, or drink. And you know, you get up and you go on with your next day, and you really just, you know,
Okay.
just to wake up in the morning and breathe that fresh air. And I really love to just thank God every single time that happens.
Yeah.
Just because I know that I've got another day, to get out there and do the best that I can to get that joy back built up within people's souls, because we need that. We need nature. We need God.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah.
All right. On that, I'm going to leave it, Colleen. And I just love the bones of you. And just say one more time how people can contact you. I'll just tell people as well. I don't know if it still works, but on Facebook, I made a page called Art for Angels. Art, and I think it's the number 4, but I'll post it in the description box. And but tell people how they can contact you and how they can buy your work.
You can contact me through my website. It's www.cblackdesign.com. And that will put you in direct contact with me. And a lot of these paintings are not up there yet.
Right.
It's been a bit of a struggle, just being a little homeless. So I haven't really been able to work on a lot. Right. But as soon as I can, and if you see something here that you really are interested in, just let me know.
Yeah, amen.
And,
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Colleen. Sorry we had to do it in 2 parts, but look, it's fine.
Oh, it worked out great. Yeah.
All right, sweetheart. And I'm so glad we focused on the artwork. I'm so glad we used that as a grounding.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words, they say. So hopefully there was a lot of unverbal things that went through to people that will
well, isn't that amazing? That jumped out at me. I knew straight away that was the Gates. All right, sweetheart, love you.
Love you too.
All right, God bless. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.